This video provides an explanation of the layout and workings of the 5-level QDA Analytic Planning Worksheet and supplements Chapter 6, which we assume you've already read. Analytic Planning Worksheets display the 5-level QDA process in a standard format. If you need a reminder of the 5 levels, please refer to Figure 2.1 on page 21 of the book. Their purpose is to facilitate mastering the process of translation so that it can quickly become simple and automatic. Once you've reached that point, you may decide to continue using the worksheets to document your analytic process, or you may feel it's not necessary to do so. But for learning the method, the worksheet is an important tool, so we illustrate each area in this video. Chapter 6 introduces the worksheet using the sample analytic task from the Imagined Bullying project, but in these videos we use a real research project, the Defining Mass Observation project. You can download the overview of this project to find out more about it. This video is in 2 parts. In this first part, we explain the top section of the worksheet, which contains spaces to note information about the project objectives and methodology and the overall analytic plan. In the second part, we explain the bottom section, which contains spaces for fleshing out the translation of tasks into selected or constructed tools, and the reflections area right at the bottom of the worksheet. There are separate Part 2 videos for each software package, so you can just watch the one that's relevant to you. You can also download the worksheet template in a Microsoft Word file for your own use. So here we have an empty worksheet, where you can see the 5 levels represented. In this video, I'm going to concentrate on the top 2 sections for levels 1 and 2, that serve as a reminder of the objectives, methodology, and the current iteration of the plan. These are best kept in mind as the details of the current tasks are thought out, which is why we have these strategies levels in the worksheet. Right at the top is a space to note the project name and the phase that the worksheet refers to. Remember that a phase is simply a small number of tasks that taken together are a coherent set. We use one worksheet per phase of a project, but a phase may comprise just 1 or 2 tasks, or many. So I'm just going to put in the project and phase name. Level 1 is objectives and methodology, and there's a space to write a short summary of each as they are currently understood. Again, I'll paste in the summaries quickly here. For the purposes of this illustration, both are short, but you can write as much as is useful to guide the translation process. Some researchers have longer files that detail the objectives and methodology, so they also list those files' names here for reference purposes. Level 2 is the overall plan, and these areas are where the iteration of the project are documented in successive worksheets. So as the project progresses, you may change the information in these areas in each worksheet. As we discuss in Chapter 6, we prefer to represent conceptual frameworks graphically, but you may prefer lists, tables, or narratives. It's up to you. The point is that conceptual frameworks evolve as projects progress, which is why this section of the worksheet is called Current Conceptual Framework. At this stage of the Defining Mass Observation project, there wasn't actually a formalised conceptual framework yet, as this was one of the intended outcomes of this phase, so I'll just note that in here for now. Later on, during subsequent phases, the graphical conceptual framework was pasted in here. In the prior completed section, we simply list in summary form what has been accomplished leading up to this phase, and we then paste in the current phase and also note what we anticipate is happening next, after completing this phase. These sections of the worksheet are important because explicitly taking the time to write out what has already been accomplished and what is anticipated next is part of what helps keep a project focused. This is what we call the context of analytic tasks. Being explicit about context ensures that what you're doing is congruent with the current iteration of the objectives, methodology and plan, which are updated as necessary in each successive worksheet. These iterations of project strategies in the top sections of the worksheet therefore provide a record of their emergence through the life of a project. In the next video, we explain the bottom sections of the worksheet, which enable you to master the process of translation. There's a separate video for each software program, so you can watch the one that's relevant to you.